I just received an extremely exciting text message. Prototypes!
G2G, which for us stands for good to go.
We need some tires and wheels and stuff. Ran into a bit of a snafu. We've decided to put the building of this bicycle on hold for a moment.
So we built up my bike. Yay, we finally rode our bikes.
The saga continues.
Hi everybody, welcome back to the channel. If you are new or if you have forgotten, I am Mackie. Sid is currently at the grocery store, but it is easy to recognize her. She is the beautiful one with the long hair. That's Sid, I'm Mackie. Anyway, if you're new, you should subscribe, or if you're not new, but you haven't subscribed, you should do that too. Today, I am hanging out in the AutoZone parking lot here in Prescott, Arizona. And I am doing a repair that I've never done before. I'm replacing the van's alternator because we were driving a couple days ago and there was this terrible smell and we were like, what is that? Is something dead? And it turns out that our battery had leaked, so we have some battery acid here, which is no bueno. So I was all worried and I was like, the battery's dead, we're gonna have to buy a new battery, that sucks. And came in here, the guys tested it at AutoZone. And they're like, actually, no, your battery's fine, but your alternator's not working properly. And the van's been doing such a good job that I forked over the extra $4 for the premium air filter, so high rolling over here. Battery is cleaned and reconnected, air filter's in, new alternator's on. Now we start it up and hope that I didn't screw anything up. Oh, and Sid's back from the grocery. Hey, will you hold this camera while I start the engine? Quite proud of myself. Nothing exploded.
We just went and ran the alternator test and everything passes now. So new alternator, G2G, which for us stands for good to go. And now we are G2G, which is going to go.
Got to go?
And I'm gonna start driving, but I'm gonna let Sid explain all the plan changing that has happened because it's pretty exciting.
We are currently in Prescott, Arizona, and we were originally planning to go to St. George, train up there for a few weeks, and then go to Seattle. However, we are now going back to Taos, New Mexico. And we're doing that because we're getting new bikes, and we realized, yes, yay! And we realized it was just gonna be like a nightmare trying to ship stuff to St. George, and then we have like some parts from Shimano and X-Fusion that are in Taos, and anyway, it was gonna be a nightmare. So we're going to Taos, and we're gonna build bikes. I guess we're just gonna sit in this parking lot forever.
Left, we're going left, I'm pretty sure.
Good luck.
We're going to the turning lane, I'm pretty sure.
Oh my god.
Turning lane.
Mackie's scaring some Prescott yuppies for sure right now.
Yuppies getting scared.
So we've been cruising along and started smelling a weird hot smell. And since we just replaced our alternator and we'd sort of smelled it before, we were a little bit worried. It turns out
Our rice cooker is melting.
the rice cooker's cord
Apparently a cheap piece of
is cheap, which we knew. I mean, it costs like 40 bucks, but the cord seems to be kind of melting itself, which is no bueno. We also don't want to fry our van. I might try taking it apart. It's always a good solution.
That is a red light of success right there. No, it just, I successfully got
It charging again, and it doesn't smell like melting plastic.
yet.
I'm feeling like really ridiculously stereotypically van life today because I'm eating out of a wooden bowl. I am eating baby arugula with quinoa, with lamb meatballs, with cucumber, tomato, and mint sprigs, covered with tahini and lemon sauce that is being served with a wooden spoon. So that might be the most stereotypically van life thing I've ever said in my whole life.
Meal probably cost like $6 per person.
Yeah. We are now going to procrastinate the dishes until the morning, as we are
Possibly
wont
forever.
to do. Saving the dishes for the morning always seems like such a good idea until the morning when washing the dishes the night before seems like such a good idea. The way it works for us is when we are going somewhere and we know we're gonna be there, we have a limited amount of time, we're like, quick, all the things we've needed to order, we have to order them and get them sent there so that they arrive before we leave that place.
Here's your Monday morning life hack. When you want to buy something on the internet, put it in the cart and then don't order it. And usually within like an hour, you'll get an email with a discount code. This actually was an accident. For some reason, my credit card rejected this because I was accidentally ordering the product on the international site and not on the US site. So I was like, what's going on? I'll just do it when I have better internet. And voila, now I get 20% off.
What you doing there, Sid?
I'm just labeling this bottle. It says Sid's bottle, not for Mackie. Somebody drinks all of my water. What happens is I end up getting really dehydrated because I think I'm drinking water, and then it turns out Mackie's drinking all of my water, and I never drink any water.
Sid drove for approximately 1 billion hours, which was awesome because I was able to get our video edited. We are in Albuquerque, stopped at Chipotle. I'm gonna share with you guys my secret. You ask for the burrito bowl, and then when they say, what rice do you want? You say a little bit of both. And same with the beans. And then you ask for the fajita mix and meat. And I believe it costs the same amount as just a normal bowl. And then you ask for some tortillas heated up on the side. And so I do 2 big tortillas, and I can turn this burrito bowl into 2 close to Chipotle-sized burritos for the same price. I successfully killed my entire burrito bowl, 2 tortillas, basically 2 Chipotle burritos, more or less. We've got about 2.5 hours to Taos, and we're gonna see what we can get done tonight. Hopefully all of it. So this is my parents' house in Taos, New Mexico. And we generally just park in the driveway and sleep there. I grew up in this house, more or less. Moved here when I was 13 or 14. Consider myself a Taoseño. We kind of use this as a home base during most of the summer because most of our races are in this area, so we just kind of bounce through here every once in a while. This is where we get a lot of packages sent, so you will probably be seeing a certain amount of this house. The biggest drawback to being in Taos is the internet speed. The Wi-Fi is ridiculously slow. We're talking like 0.2 megabits per second sort of slow, whereas my phone is doing like 2. So it's all slow, but at least it's faster. I just received an extremely exciting text message from my dad's office manager. It is a picture of multiple bicycle boxes, so they have arrived. I guess we better go get them. Oh, those are some exciting boxes right there. Sid couldn't wait to see her new bike, her Renegade, which is a gravel grinder, so she already tore open this box. It's pretty cool looking. This one is the Komodo 27.5 Plus bike, and then this box is my cyclocross frame. We are gonna build up these 2 bikes, and then today we have more bikes showing up. We're basically going to work on building up these bikes until those ones show up.
Our vlogs on Monday are a few weeks behind. We have tons of content that we're still catching you up on. So if you're like, oh, what are you doing in New Mexico?
And if you want more real-time updates on our Patreon.
Yeah, real-time updates on Patreon. But yeah, we have a ton of cool content. We're getting to it. But today we'll just, do a little tour of our sweet bike.
Wait, we have to come up with a name for it.
Yeah, it's like the Hack Shack or the Nuggatorium, only with way more mice. It's basically a house for mice and all of our parts of bikes. There also isn't even 4G in here, so there will be no live streams in the shed. Yeah. Mackie's also allergic to the shed, so we try to really minimize the time that we spend in here. What should we call our bike shed? We could call it the Adventure Shack. I I think that's too serious.
No, because
The mouse house.
Come on, but then it sounds like it's like Chuck E. Cheese's or something.
Yeah, only real live mice, which hopefully aren't at Chuck E. Cheese, though. I mean, let's be real.
We've decided to put the building of this bicycle on hold for a moment so that Sid can build her gravel grinder, because it already comes with all the parts, so I think we should be able to put it together pretty fast. Don't worry, she's not running with the scissors, she's just holding them in her mouth. There we go. This bike, the Renegade, everybody loves. Apparently it's like the best gravel grinder ever. So Sid got one and is very excited. Now Sid's gonna try to figure out which way her drop handlebars go.
I think it's this way. But
There we go.
That
looks right. It's all built now. Look how beautiful it is.
And it's literally like so light.
I think it's like half the weight of our current bikes. I just got a very exciting text message. Not sure if you can see it, but that is a person carrying a bicycle box into my dad's office. So that means that our prototypes have shown up, and we are gonna go nip into town and get those before building up this bike. We're in the little orange car, which by the way is called the Rockmelon. Bonus points to anyone who can figure out why it is called the Rockmelon. Prototypes. So the box might be a little bit bigger than the car.
This looks like an all-around good idea. What could go wrong?
We are good to go. It's a little cozy in the car in the Rockmelon right now, but I think we got this. Driving stick with your knees hitting the
I'm impressed that you got in there. I don't think I would be able to. Oh boy. This is when it can all go sideways. Literally.
After that short break from our usual programming, we are back at the house, and I'm gonna pick back up and build up my little Komodo Plus bike. Ran into a bit of a snafu, as often happens when I'm building bikes, in that I forgot to ask Jameis to send me a headset and a seat post clamp. So those have been ordered from our local bicycle shop here in Taos, gearing up, and should arrive tomorrow. So I've put the build on hold. I have all my parts in here, have my frame. I am ready to go, and I'm gonna build it up like a maniac tomorrow. Sid is using her newfound brake bleeding skills, doing some lever bleeding on her new bicycle. If you haven't seen her lever bleeding video, you should probably go watch it.
It wasn't a lever bleeding video.
It wasn't. It was a full bleeding video.
So many bubbles.
Well, it took a little while, but we eventually got Sid's bike all built up. We still have to change the suspension, but X-Fusion's 3629er fork has not been released yet, so we have to wait a little while on that, but we should be getting the X-Fusion shock tomorrow.
So we built up my bike, finally. Took forever. Building bikes always takes way longer than we think it's going to, so we're gonna finish Mackey's and show you all about it in the morning.
Well, it literally just took me all day to build this bicycle. It will go down in history as the second worst bike build ever. The worst being when I had a fork and I forgot to include the height of the stem on the fork before I cut it. And so I cut my fork like 30 millimeters too short. That was the worst one. This was the second worst. I had to do things like drill out a stripped out bolt on the old stem. And then I like cut a Di2 wire, and there was just thing after thing after thing. You'll notice that despite our best intentions, we still have Fox suspension on there, not X-Fusion. That is because in the continued comedy of Sid and Mackie attempt to build their bicycles, FedEx lost a package. They delivered one of them, and then they claimed that the location was closed and couldn't deliver the other one. So obviously the FedEx guy just forgot it in the back of the van and noticed later and put, oh, you know, it was closed. The other comedy is after ordering the headset for my Plus bike, for the Komodo, BTI forgot to put it in the package. And so it showed up at the bike shop,
and there was no headset.
We decided that we were just gonna come to Santa Fe, pick up the package from FedEx, hopefully go by BTI, pick up the headset from them, and use this as an excuse to go ride our bikes at Glorieta because the riding there is awesome and rocky, and it would be a really nice way to test them out. Well, the saga continues. Get to FedEx half hour after they open or something, and they're like, oh yeah, the hold request didn't come through in time. It's on the truck on its way to Taos. They called the driver, and the driver basically was like, I can leave it at the Walgreens in Espanola. Espanola is about 45 minutes back the direction that we just came, but that's closer than Taos. So I'm gonna go by BTI and cross my fingers that things go a little bit more smoothly there. And then I'm gonna drive to Espanola and get our forks and drive back.
Thank goodness for places like BTI. They came to the rescue. We were able to get the headset for my Komodo, so I can now build up that bike, and the springs for our coil shocks that we were lacking. I just talked to Sid. She pointed out that it probably doesn't really make sense to drive all the way to Walgreens and then all the way back, because then we'd still have to cut our forks and install them and all that kind of stuff. And she's right. So instead, we are going to just put our shocks on because that was the thing that I really want to test out. And we're gonna head over to Glorieta and we're gonna go ride our bikes.
All right, we are in Glorieta. This is Andrew. He's gonna show us some of the new stuff here. We're pretty excited, and we're riding our new bikes. Yay!
Yay! Also, look,
Oh yeah, look what we have.
as requested, we have a gimbal. We'll see how it goes.
It's a hand-me-down. It's sort of an experiment before we invest in our own gimbal.
First ride with the gimbal. Let's see how this thing does. Yeah, prepare to see my handlebars. All right, it's party time. See how this thing feels. Woohoo! Yeah, dude. That was super fun.
It's kind of smiling.
That's a cool trail.
Yeah.
Well, I gotta say the shock feels better than the one that was on it. I think I just like my coil shocks. Andrew's probably up there thinking, and these two call themselves pros. Bunch of lazy slugs. Woo! Here we are. The Holy Moly, or Holy Mole, since we are in New Mexico. This is the newest trail at Glorieta. Apparently it's a pretty rad flow trail.
Holy moly! Dusty and loose, I like it. Woohoo!
Ooh, it's dusty! Oh man, that's so much fun.
I know, right?
Yeah.
Have you guys rode this before?
No.
After you.
Sure.
Yep.
Alright.
You show us the good lines.
I don't know. But I'll try.
Coming by ya. Wee-haw!
That was full fun though.
We just took an awesome ride and nothing terrible happened, so that's good. So big thanks to Andrew for taking us out, Dustin for joining us.
Yeah.
We are back at the van now. We're gonna go pick up our forks from Walgreens in Espanola, and then hopefully that will be the end of this saga.